know if you agree and post your driver ratings down below in the comments. Let's start with the ART team. Victor Martins, I'll give a 3. One of the favourites going into the season, but had a mediocre qualifying coming 8th. He struggled for pace in both races, dropping down to 11th in the sprint and ultimately retiring from the feature race with technical issues. He has to prove that the next race is coming up that it was the car's fault, not his, as his teammate had no issues. Daniel Sullivan is next with an 8. He had a strong weekend for the rookie, who showed his more experienced teammate how it's done. He got 6th in quali, and then a weird high strategy made him drop down one spot to 7th in the sprint race. A better showing and a better strategy in the feature race allowed him to climb up to 4th and retain it. Moving on to the Prema team, we'll start with Oliver Behrman. I gave him a 1. He was hyped up a lot coming into the season, but struggled to perform the whole weekend. It was not clear whether it was his fault or the car's, but it was disappointing nonetheless for the Haas-linked Brit. He qualified down in 18th, being bested by one spot by his younger teammate. The races didn't go much better, with a combination of him stalling, car issues, and just driving into other drivers, making his weekend much worse. The car issues are explainable, but being massively outdone by a teammate is not. Moving on to his teammate, Andrea Antonelli, I'll give him a 6. He had similar issues with the car as Behrman, with Prema not supplying the machinery needed for a podium fight at this race. However, he showed in the races that he can keep it clean and try battle, even if he does have a terrible car. He qualified 17th and made it up to 10th in the race, a place he can build on and hope that Prema sorts out the car. Next up is Roden, with the wonderkind Zane Maloney. 10. Great weekend, unblemished apart from only qualifying 3rd, but still came through and by the first lap he was leading the feature race, and only took a couple laps in the sprint race to get first, and he just carried on driving the distance from then on out. He couldn't have done more. His teammate though, Mieta, qualified well, coming 5th, and he obviously had good pace, but had some growing pains during his races as he learns how to take control of these Pirelli tyres. With Maloney doing so well in both races, questions might start to arise if he continues to be outshone. He has some time to get up to speed, but not all the time in the world. Then comes Dabs. Jack Crawford with a 6. He got a bit unlucky in qualifying, with his mainies DQ promoting him from 11th to 10th, which got him that pole position for the sprint race. From here he inverted the pole into a solo 2nd place, only being outshone by Maloney. He lost the engine in the feature race when he pitted, which would be just disappointing considering he was fighting for another podium. His teammate though, Juan Manuel Correa, I'll give a 3, which was a forgettable weekend for the American. He qualified 13th and converted this to 12th for the sprint race and didn't really do much. He retired from the feature race, and although not much expected from him, it's still not a great performance, hence the 3. And then comes the Invicta team. I'll give Kushmani a 6. The start of the weekend looked really bright, but a few hours after quali he got disqualified for having a low ride height, and that meant he would start last for both races. He tried to make it up in the sprint, but didn't have enough time to work his way to the points, and finished 13th. He did, however, have enough time to get the points in the feature race, and managed to get up to 7th. His teammate had a better weekend, but he still showed that he now would be considered an equal to Bortoletto. Hopefully, if he qualifies better and doesn't get disqualified, he'll be a title contender. Now, the F3 champion, Bortoletto, I'll give him an 8. He did so well this first weekend, getting an unforgettable pole after the disqualification of his teammate. He worked his way up from 10th in the sprint to 6th, showing strong pace and good overtakes. The feature race started poorly, struggling to get off the line and putting Hadjar into a spin, earning a 10-second penalty. He redeemed a strong performance and came 5th overall. Without a penalty, he could have come 2nd though, so it kind of dampens his weekend a little bit. MP Motorsport next, with Dennis Hauger getting a 6. He qualified 8th and finished there in both races. It's okay, but a driver that has high ambitions needs to be finishing higher consistently. His teammate, I'll also give it a 6. He qualified low down the order and showed good pace in the feature race, working up to 6th. He had a less impressive sprint race of result of 18th, but still, he had way less experience than Dennis Hauger and kind of equaled him in the machinery. Moving on to VAR with Enzo Fittipaldi. I'll give him 4. He qualified 7th and had a rough sprint race and an even tougher feature race, having no choice but to crash into Hadjar. Rafael Villagomez, I'll give him 1 point less with a 3. A quiet weekend for Billy Gomez with a poor qualifying performance, resulting in 2 poor races, finishing out the points. Then on to the high-tech team with Emery Cordial. He's my first 0. Terrible, needs to improve. But his teammate though, Paul Aaron, the rookie, he's getting a 9. A very strong weekend with 5th in the sprint race and 3rd in the feature race. All this starting both races at 12th in the grid. He could have done better in qualifying, which was the result for not scoring full points. Now Campos with Isaac Hedger. I give him a 7. He qualified well, getting 2nd place, and worked his way back up to 4th in the sprint race. However, in the feature race, he got spun by Bortoletto, which ruined his chances of points, especially after being hit in the side by Fittipaldi. It would have been interesting to see if he can keep up with Maloney in the feature race, however this wasn't to be, but hopefully we can see him compete at the top in Jeddah. His teammate Pepe Marti though had the fast car and none of the bad luck. Similar to Aaron, I'll give him a 9. He had a dominant weekend with a 3rd and 2nd in the sprint and feature race respectively. Well done to the Spanish maestro. Could have qualified better though, after starting 11th in both races, with his teammate qualifying 2nd. Now, the Trident team. Richard Bashaw, I'll give him a 4. He got 16th in quali and got up to 10th in the sprint race and 14th in the feature. The better than his teammate, but if you don't get points, you're not getting above a 5 in my books. His teammate, Roman Stanek, gets less than that, a 2. I didn't expect much from him, and he delivered. 20th in quali, retired from the sprint, then 13th in the feature race, with about 8 drivers DNF'd. The PHM team, I was pleasantly surprised by. Joshua Dirkston qualified last, so I'll give him a 3. But there are some positives. He improved up to 11th in the feature race and showed good glimpses of the driver and solid pace, but ultimately should have done better given his teammate qualified 9th. Taylor Barnard, a story of what could have been. He qualified 9th, which was amazing, so I'll give him a 5, but from there we went from bad to worse, having a terrible sprint race and then retiring from the feature race due to a really bad stop by his engineers when he went into the pits. This isn't really his fault though, so can't blame him too much, which is hence the 5. But once again, if you don't score points, you're not getting above a 5 in my books, so that's that. These are my ratings. Let me know what you think and what your ratings are in the comment. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.